Hey, whippersnappers, it's Tortimer the Great. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Hyperstone Heist. Today we're taking on scene number 3, the Shredder's Hideout, and we are continuing on with this awesome hack and slash side-scroller, and it's been a lot of fun so far. I appreciate you guys watching with me and just kind of hanging out. I'm excited to get into these Throwback Thursday stuff, because some of these games, like I said, this one, it's been forever since I've actually even played it, and I used to love it so much as a kid. So it's cool that I'm getting an excuse to play it again, because, you know, I don't really, with as big of a recording schedule as I've kind of given myself here, I don't really have any time to play games for just fun. If I'm not recording or prepping to record, I'm doing other things, so yeah, it's cool that I'm able to do this now, and I'm glad that you guys seem to be enjoying it. I mean, we're not getting huge views on this series, but you know, it's something different, and I kind of expected that. When I started doing Minecraft stuff, etc., I wasn't getting huge views on that either, and so I'll have to build a fan base for people who like the throwback stuff. But hey, you know what? For those of you guys who do enjoy it, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're watching it. I did, this last week, get to finally get out and see the Ninja Turtles movie, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of my rundown of that, just because it's the most relevant Ninja Turtles thing that's happening right now. But yeah, I mean, so what we kind of talked about last week was, I mentioned some of the reviews that other people were giving it, and I think I'm pretty well in a... Oh, the fire breather guys are finally here. Ooh. Oh, okay, I guess I don't have to battle them. So, you know... Pretty much, it's what people were saying. You know, the Turtles, when they were on scene and the action was a lot of fun. But Megan Fox was terrible. I mean, truly just awful. She's just not an actress. She's a very pretty lady, but she's a model at best. And she cannot act to save her life. And even the simple stuff that they gave her she couldn't pull it off. I mean, it was bad. And so the fact that, you know, she was in the movie at all kind of ruined it, and really, so I'm sitting here, I'm watching Ninja Turtles and Ninja Rats and things, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff happening, and the thing I had the hardest time suspending disbelief on was the fact that Megan Fox had ever worked an honest day. You know, she's running around as a reporter, and, like, I'm supposed to believe that she's, like, working an actual job and, like, doing a hard day's work and all that. And that was honestly the hardest part, because she's in no way like the girl next door, like, oh, look at this person who's out like being a real person. Like, there's no way I could have suspended disbelief and be like, oh, Megan Fox is just another person. There was no point where I was like, oh, she's April O'Neil. It was, look at Megan Fox ruining this movie. And that's not even just me being a fanboy. That's because, you know, I get, you know, movies are for new generations of kids, and I'm sure there were some scenes in this movie which I didn't really care for, just on, like, an aesthetic purpose. Like, you know, they were... Oh, this cave is creepy. Oh, we got mousers! So, you know, it wasn't even just, like, things like bad writing or whatever. It was just, like, at one point there was, like, a fart joke or something, and some of the stuff was a little immature, and it's like, well, okay, so kids will like that. That's not stuff that I really care to see, but... Okay, well, great. You know, maybe the little kids who are watching this will enjoy that, I guess. But it's just, you know... just bad acting and stuff, and it's like nobody, I mean, kids don't like, I mean, you can have a great kids movie where acting is great. I mean, look at all the Marvel stuff and everything. Kids love that, and the acting is great, and the movies are a great experience and everything, and so you know, there's, yeah, it's a new generation, but, you know, we could always give them good stuff to watch. I mean, we don't have to, you know, give them nothing but crap just because it's a new generation and use it as an excuse, like... And you know, some of the stuff they changed, like the origin story and stuff, that's not me, you know, I take issue with that, not as a fanboy, but just as like I don't know, an appreciator of art. Like, especially with the Ninja Turtles franchise, they have decades of TV and movie and comic book source material to pull from. Like, kind of like with the Marvel stuff, yeah, they're doing their own take on it a little bit, but at least they're, like, giving homage to the original source material and, like, handling what they're doing appropriately. Like, I feel like the source material is so good, you know, that, like, you could easily have found something cool to do with it. Especially, I mean, unless you're going to have some great team in there to, like, really come up with something truly groundbreaking and artistic, then fine, maybe try your hand at your own version of it. But, like, I don't know. I feel like, and I'm not a huge Marvel, like, really I haven't read a ton of comic books for, like, the other superheroes and stuff. It just, you know, I don't know, I never really got into actually, like, buying comics and stuff, because I didn't have a lot of money. So, you know, I would, gosh darn, these stupid bamboo things are more annoying than anything here. There we go. So, I mean, I don't know, like, all, like, you know, and then there's so many, like, different incantations of, like, superhero characters that it's hard to keep up with all that stuff anyway. But, I bought a couple of the better, you know, storylines and stuff and read those. And so, you know, I can appreciate, you know, all that comic book stuff. And I love those movies and everything. It's great. But, it's just, you know, I feel like the Marvel studio, since it's Marvel who's making these movies, and it's their source material, they're able to much better, like, if they want to take it in another direction, they know how to do that appropriately, as opposed to, you know, what's happening with, you know, I guess Ninja Turtles in its entirety has been sold to Nickelodeon, which, you know, Nickelodeon's not what it used to be back in my day, so it's hard to really give them much credit, I guess, but, I don't know. It just... It was weird. There was lots of things in this movie, and you could definitely tell where, like, you know, so not only did they have, you know, bad actors in general, but there was talk of, like, reshoots happening on this movie, and it was definitely evident, like, people were on the internet, and it's largely people on the internet's fault in this sense, I guess, that people, like, they heard, you know, oh, well, William Fichtner was going to be Shredder, and everyone got all nerd ragey about, oh, a white guy playing Shredder and all that. And, like, you watch the movie, and you can definitely tell that they reshot it to make him not be Shredder. He was supposed to be Shredder when they originally started this, and so, I mean, he even tweeted out, oh, cool, looks like I get to play Shredder or whatever, and that's where all this stuff came from. But, you know, you can definitely tell that that was the original intention. And then people got angry, and so they reshot some scenes to make him not be Shredder. And you can definitely tell, and it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's like, I don't know, I don't want to get too spoilery in case you guys haven't seen it, but yeah, it's just so, the whole movie's kind of a mess, and there are definitely sequences that are great. I'm not just like raining on this movie because I, you know, hate Michael Bay or whatever. You know, I like being entertained, and if this movie had been entertaining, I would have forgiven a lot of stuff. And there were scenes that were entertaining, but large in a way, it was, oh, darn it. Large in a way, it was not. I mean, well, it wasn't bad. No, it was bad. It wasn't, like, unentertaining or anything. There was enough sequences in there that were, like, really good. You know, like, in the trailer, there was that sequence with them on the mountaintop and stuff. And that was a great scene. The action in this movie is good. I can't take that away from it. You know, in true Michael Bay fashion, the acting was terrible, but the action sequences at least were engaging. Alright, secret shield guy. Let's end this party here, please. So, I mean, the action sequences are good. I actually really enjoyed how they portrayed the Turtles for the most part. There was very little, like, character development that happened there. I mean, I think, you know, they kind of, it felt like they were expecting you to be like, you know, the Turtles have been around for 25 years, you should know what's going on already. But, you know, they didn't, like, I felt like we were told things more than we really saw them. So, like, you know, we saw Mikey being the goofball and everything, and he was, you know, he was definitely the goofball and, you know, the surfer dude or whatever, as he usually is. Donatello was obviously the nerd. He was all decked out in, you know, technology, and he had glasses that he kept pushing up and saying, you know, doing computery stuff, and so I get that. But, like, you know, they kept telling us, oh, Leonardo is the leader, and that's, you know, true, but, you know, we heard that way more than we saw that. He and Raph would fight about who was the leader and everything, and even Raphael, he was, you know, he was angry, but most of the time he was justifiably angry because, you know, people were beating him and his family up, and so he would go, like, roid rage on people. So it wasn't even like Raph being, like, you know, at the end of the movie, he kind of, like, they think they're gonna die or whatever. Not to be too spoilery, and so they think they're gonna die, and so they're kind of like saying their last words or whatever, and Raph, you know, uses that time to apologize for being such a huge jerk and stuff, and as, like, a member of the audience who maybe isn't totally familiar with the Ninja Turtles, you're wondering, like, well, what is he talking about exactly? Yeah. Man, Tatsu, quit giving me ninjas to fight. I want to kill you. But yeah, so I mean, and especially like Leonardo, I think was one of the least developed of the Turtles. I mean, because normally he's like the most developed, and so that was, I think that's why that felt weird. He's normally like, you know, he's normally like the guy, Leonardo is. He's the leader, and he's like the lead guy, and everyone, all the other Turtles sometimes feel like, you know, window dressing to Leonardo's story arc. And this time it was definitely, it was Raph's day, and so that's fine. They developed Raphael a little bit better. Oh man, shell shock. I need to get Tatsu dead. But, you know, it seemed like Leonardo was the least developed of all of them in this one. So, that's you can't focus, you can't fully develop, you know, every character, I guess, necessarily. But I feel like they could have done a better job with that, and well, they could have done a better job with everything. But it was, you know, it wasn't bad. If you like, you know, well, I mean, it's hard to look past some of the acting stuff, but definitely, it was a thing where you could enjoy some of the sequences, but not others. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Maybe we'll talk more about this next time. But as always, I've been Tortimer the Gray, and you guys have been great. Have a good one.